Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you're trying to go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20.
The onset of fall weather, Coach, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And coming up of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Garoppolo now. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A 2nd straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 25 yards that time.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Well, look now at the defensive starting lineup for the 49ers. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Brooks from the downhill throw. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line. Now Brooks to throw on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Here's Brooks operating from the gun. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick upon his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. That's Brooks. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in.
And he's going to go down again. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Brooks under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Garoppolo. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now Brooks off the bootleg. He's going to find Gallup here complete and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Elliott. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Looking to throw. Brooks. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
On 1st down, here's Breida. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Tackled there by Leighton Vander Esch. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing a 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense, kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Brooks now throwing on 3rd and long. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Help me out, partner. Did they use up all their juice on 2nd down when they got the sack? Because on 3rd down, zero pressure all the time in the world, and he picks up the 1st down with that throw.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Brooks under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20, and he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
huge play for the defense. What a turn of events. They get the fumble return for a touchdown, the last play of the first half.
And how about the defense providing a score, amping up not just themselves, but the entire team as they head into the locker room.
And does that change the locker room speech at half?
There shouldn't be much of a speech necessary.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46. The throw over the middle taken in. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, they'll step aside. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
But they tried to get 2. And ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
Check 56. You gonna see me in your nightmare, son. You gonna see me in your nightmare.
Brooks, off play action. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Brooks to throw. Off the play fake. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Here's Elliott. And he's got this down to the 35. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's first and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Dancing to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brooks. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
I think that should have been chalked up as a winning play for the defense, and they somehow beat it, didn't they? Right-handed quarterback flush to his left, yet he finds his tight end on the left side of the field. That's a tough throw. What a great completion.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up, and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Here we go. 180. Check 55 for Mike. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Garoppolo again. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. With that last effort, he has reached now 10,000 career rushing yards. Congratulations.
Big-time congratulations. That also means that his publicist can
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And got his man complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Looking to throw. Brooks. That one caught by Ellison. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Elliott.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Brooks to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to bury him for a loss of 11. But they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
That one complete. He finds Sharp. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And his throw here's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. There's Garoppolo to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football if in it.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
15 for the Niners there on a 1st down. Back to throw. And incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
right? Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Ready. Danny. Look at me. Go.
Elliott. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. This is Elliott. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Cowboys, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our